Brazil is not just a country, it's an entire world of extremes. From the deepest rainforest on Earth to cities larger than some nations, Brazil is a place where nature, culture, and human history collide on a massive scale. It's home to the Amazon River, the planet's richest biodiversity, and traditions that have shaped global music, sport, and identity. But beneath what most people think they know, Brazil hides stories that are rarely told. Facts that feel unreal. Facts that change how you see the world. Stay with us until the end, because Brazil gets more surprising with every step. When you look at Brazil on a map, the sheer size of it is hard to process. It's the largest country in South America, covering nearly half of the entire continent, and it's even bigger than the whole European Union combined. That kind of scale changes everything, from the landscapes and climates to the cultures and ways of life. Dense rainforests, vast savannas, long coastlines, and massive cities all exist within the same borders. Brazil doesn't feel like just one country. It feels like an entire world made up of many different worlds living side by side. When you think about the Amazon rainforest, it's impossible not to feel a sense of awe. This vast, living ecosystem produces up to 20% of the world's oxygen, which is why it's often called the lungs of the Earth. Every tree, every leaf feels like it's quietly working to keep the planet in balance. What happens there doesn't stay there. It affects weather patterns, temperatures, and life across the globe. The Amazon isn't just a forest, it's a vital force, holding together the delicate systems that allow our world to breathe. What truly sets Brazil apart is how alive it is in every sense. More plant and animal species exist here than in any other country on Earth. Around 15 to 20% of all known species call Brazil home, from deep in the Amazon to wetlands, forests, and coastlines. That level of diversity is almost impossible to imagine. Every region feels like its own ecosystem, full of life that exists nowhere else. It's a powerful reminder of how important Brazil is, not just to nature lovers, but to the balance of the entire planet. Standing in front of the Amazon River, it's hard to even call it a river. It feels more like a moving sea. By volume, it's the largest river in the world, carrying more water than the next 7 largest rivers combined. The sheer power of it is overwhelming, stretching endlessly across the landscape. What strikes me most is how quietly it does this, day after day, shaping ecosystems, feeding life, and reminding you how small human scale feels next to nature at its most immense. São Paulo is one of those cities that completely reshapes your sense of scale. With more than 22 million people living across its metropolitan area, it's one of the largest cities in the world. The energy there never really fades, it just changes rhythm. Streets, neighborhoods, and cultures blend into one massive living system. What stands out to me is how a city that big still manages to function, driven by millions of individual lives all moving together, each with their own direction and purpose. Brazil's connection to coffee runs deeper than most people realize. It's the largest coffee producer on the planet, responsible for about 1/3 of all the coffee consumed worldwide. Vast plantations stretch across the landscape, and millions of people depend on that industry for their livelihoods. Every cup you drink carries a trace of Brazil's soil, climate, and history. It's a quiet reminder of how one country can shape daily rituals around the world without us even noticing. Brazil experiences more lightning strikes than any other country on Earth. Every year, millions of bolts hit the ground, especially across the vast Amazon region. During storms, the sky can feel alive, flashing again and again with raw energy. What stands out is how normal this becomes for people living there. It's another reminder of how powerful nature is in Brazil, and how life there often unfolds alongside forces far bigger than anything humans can control. Carnival in Brazil is often called the biggest festival on Earth, and once you see it, that claim makes perfect sense. Millions of people take over the streets for days, surrounded by non-stop music, dancing, and massive parades filled with color and movement. The energy is intense and contagious, pulling everyone into the same rhythm. What makes Carnival truly special isn't just its size, but the feeling behind it. It's a moment when daily life pauses, differences fade, and the entire country comes together to celebrate freedom, creativity, and the joy of being alive. One of the most surprising things about Brazil is how connected it has to be. The country has over 4,000 airports, more than almost any other place on Earth. Many of them aren't for big cities or international travel, but simply to reach remote rainforest communities. In areas where roads are impossible, small planes become lifelines. It's a reminder of how vast the country really is, and how geography shapes the way people stay connected to the rest of the world. Football in Brazil is more than a sport. It's part of the country's identity. Brazil is the most successful football nation in history, winning the FIFA World Cup 5 times, more than any other country. Those victories aren't just trophies. They're shared memories passed down through generations. You can feel it in the streets, on beaches, in small neighborhoods where kids play barefoot. Football becomes a language everyone understands, a source of pride, and a reflection of Brazil's passion and spirit. One of Brazil's most unsettling realities is that some of its prisons once functioned like entire cities. Carandiru prison, before it was shut down, held more than 8,000 inmates, making it larger than many towns. Inside those walls, a complex society formed, with its own rules and hierarchies. It's a stark reminder of the country's struggles with inequality and justice, and how systems can grow beyond control when deeper issues are left unresolved. One of the most unexpected sights in Brazil is the pink dolphins of the Amazon. The Amazon River dolphin is born gray, but as it ages, its skin slowly turns pink. Seeing one surface in the muddy river feels almost unreal, like a myth coming to life. For the people who live along the river, these dolphins are part of everyday stories and legends. They're a reminder that the Amazon still holds wonders that feel magical, even when they're completely real. Brazil's size becomes even more striking when you look at its borders. It shares land borders with almost every country in South America, connecting it to the continent in nearly every direction. Only Chile and Ecuador do not touch Brazil at all. That kind of reach influences everything, from trade and culture to history and migration. Brazil isn't just part of South America, it's woven into nearly the entire continent, shaping and being shaped by the countries around it. Brazil proves that reality can be more fascinating than fiction. A single country holding forests that affect the entire planet, rivers that reshape continents, and cultures that influence the world far beyond its borders. And this was only a glimpse. If you enjoyed discovering these incredible facts about Brazil, make sure to like the video, subscribe, and explore our other documentaries about the most fascinating places on Earth. This is Brainblow. Stay curious.